Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Marilyn Darling Show. And welcome to another episode of 30 Inks, 30 Days. How is everyone doing today? Are you having a nice day? I hope you're having a nice day wherever you are in the world. I am a little bit early today, but I have a very busy day. And today is going to be kind of an off day, so I have just one more client to deal with, and then I have to go shopping. Alright, so how is everyone doing today? Let's see, before we start, we're going to share this with our friends so that they can come and hang out with us too. At this time, I would encourage you to share this with your friends, with the Reddit and the Facebook and the Twitter and the LinkedIn and the Pinterest and the Blogger and any of the other social medias that you use. I would greatly appreciate sharing the video. Let's see if Tumblr will work today. Nope. I don't know what's wrong with Tumblr. It doesn't like me anymore. And I don't have the time to deal with that. So, I'm sorry if people on Tumblr are missing out. It's not my fault. I didn't do it. So, let me just see. Where are we? We are at 1,027 subscribers. So, I'm 3 subscribers away. And if you share this video with your friends, maybe one of them will become subscribers. And I would be ever so grateful. Alright, so let's do today's ink. Today's ink is Ferris Wheel Press, Cloak, and Forrest. This has a nice blue shimmer. It's a green, dark green ink with some blue shimmer. Very interesting. Alright, here is our ink of the day. And I should have put this in a broader nib. But we can kind of get a good idea. I mean, it basically, you're seeing it as how I'm seeing it. It's very dark. It might as well be black. You guys know how I feel about inks that pretend to be one color, and then you get them and you're like, that's black. Then you have to get like this close to figure out that it's like a different color other than black. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know. Anyway, not much shading going on. Here is the ink swatch, and water resistance test shows that it's going to be schmutzed. You're not going to be able to read it, so don't put it on an envelope. This has some nice red sheen going on, though, and this blue shimmer is really nice. But this is not a good representation of what the ink is going to look like on a page. Just putting that out there. Here is our ink painting of the day. And I think that I like the technique that I'm doing. I'm taking my... Sorry, itchy. Ugh. I'm taking my pen and priming the feed just enough so I see a little bit of ink coming up. And then I blow through the feed, and it splatters on the paper, which gives it this very unique galaxy looking picture. And there's even some red sheen with some blue glitter, so it totally looks like some sort of crazy nebula in in the far distance. I need to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. And here is our toilet paper chromatography. Now, this is very interesting. I totally did not see any purple except in the blue shimmer in either of these. So I don't know what that is, that blue purpley-ishness. And then there's like a dark green, and then there's a light green. And then right along the edge, there's this teal-y bluish color. I don't know what that orange is. That's not part of this ink. But you can totally see what the shimmer is. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Oh dear. Excuse me, I need to blow my nose now. Hello, Amy Alphabet. How are you doing today? Are you having a nice day? Everybody go check out Amy Alphabets. Do you do videos, don't you, Amy? Do you have a channel? Wow, this is an interesting one. You wouldn't think it would be so dark based on the tissue. Exactly. It's very interesting. Do you have a YouTube channel? If you do, you can put the link in the chat. That would be great. Or you can post it in the comment section below so that people can come and check out your channel. Let's do some paper review, shall we? So, this is the Pen and Gear memo book. Let's move this here. This is the Pen and Gear memo book from Walmart.com. We're going to zoom in. Oops. We're going to zoom in just a little bit. No channel for you. Just like to hang out with other people. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. Alright, this is a very weird ink. Oh, did I mention today's pen we are using the Mahjong or Mooman P136 with a Yovo Omniflex nib. I hate this nib, but it was the only nib that I could fit in that pen at that moment. Alright, so I did sorry. I am noticing, I'm going to get real close here for a second. I am noticing that if you look real closely, you can kind of, oh, there it is. There's like a little bit of red sheen. You can definitely see the shimmer. I don't see any green at all. Nothing. Oh, maybe there's a little green on that T. But, goodness. This would make a very sneaky work if your work isn't like into like super checking your paperwork and whatever. If you have like a laid back job, this would be a great sneaky black ink. So there is no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Jeez, it is like, where's Waldo trying to find the green? Yeah, this is... You know what? Actually, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to... Uh-oh. I totally spaced out and forgot that I had that inked up with something. Wait a minute. What is this? This is... Where's my journal? This is the red one. Oh no. This is Edelstein Garnet. What did I do with the thing that I was gonna do? Oh yes, I remember what I was gonna do. I'm sorry, this review's kind of all over the place. You guys have to forgive me. Garnet. I forgot to put it in the ink book. I'm trying to keep a record of when I do ink reviews and the colors next to the ink reviews, so that way I have a record of it. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm going to rinse this off, and then we can do maybe a little switchy swatch of the garnet, of the, this green ink in a broad nib. If you guys don't have a serendipity with the oval broad nib, I'm telling you guys, you're missing out. This is probably one of the nicest dip pens without like having to... It gives you just enough that you can get like a good page and a half of writing. What is going on there? Ugh. Today has not been my day with tearing things. Is this month called Rainbow? Did I do a currently ink this week? Yeah. This is this week. I don't know. Oh well. Okay. I want to do this. I want to do this Cloak and Dagger better because I want it to be in a broad nib. Actually, you know what I could do? I could just do this instead of... That's better. This will be a way more lovelier time anyway if I just use a broad nib. So let's try. And plus I think I spelled it wrong on the card anyway. Yeah, I did. I put an A. Oops. Spelling has never been one of my best suits. Oh God, shut up. I know it's time to do the review. Be quiet. Alright. Alexa, stop. I may end up doing this card again later down the road, but whatever, it's fine. Yeah, the Serendipity is probably one of my favorite pens to do like swatches with. If you know that you're not gonna like an ink, then you only have to do it. You only have to dip it for like 2 seconds in order for it to Yeah, it actually looks worse. See, it looks more black than it did before. At least here, I did get some of the lighter bits. I could see some of the shimmer more better. Let me see if I can turn up the flavor just a little. Even when I turn up the exposure all the way, you still can't tell that it's dark green. There. That's at like 125, 225 ISO. Too bright. There. So that's what it looks like to my eye. Too dark. Too bad. It is pretty. It does have some nice sparkly bits, which is nice. And when you can get the sparkly bits is nice. But it's not like in your face. I guess that's what they call it. That's why they call it Cloak and Forrest. Maybe it's Cloak and Forrest? Cloak in Forrest? I don't even know. I didn't even look it up before I started. So dumb of me. Cloak and Forrest. Okay. Okay, moving right along. This is lightweight traveler's notebook paper. Let's see if I raise that up a little bit. Drop in. How does that look? Does that look cromulent? I thought you were gonna reverse write for a second there. Why do people do the reverse writing? So I don't have a white paper with me. We'll just have to pretend that this is white paper. We're gonna put our pretend caps on for a moment. And if you're an artist and you want to make small marks with your reverse nib, you can do that. But you really can't make too small of a marks when you're using it the normal way. So it really just gives a little bit of depth to where people maybe want a little more control over what people are saying. See? My terrible, terrible drawing. But it does kind of give you a little bit of, a little bit finer of a line, and you can really kind of really get some real fine lines. This the upside down thing is more for artists, I think, than normal. Of course, you can write with it too. Except for when you turn it right side up, it's much thicker. It's mostly an artist thing. I mean, unless you're like a person that writes in the Hobonichi, you know how small those squares are, right? They're only 2 millimeters, 2 or 3 millimeters. They're not very big. Let's see. And I know people that write inside of that little tiny dot grid. I mean, that's my finger. My fingers are rather small. So we're gonna, let me see. This is a 4 millimeter line. Oh, that's inches, never mind. It's like 4 millimeters. It's a 4, 12. Yeah, that's a 4 millimeter dot line. So it's really small. And I know people that oh god, I can't believe I'm about to do this. They're right in this tiny space, and they fill this entire page up with writing. And I'm like, oh my god, how can you even read that? It's so tiny. You need a magnifying glass or a microscope just to be able to read it. Anyway. Oh yeah? Yeah. I have to take up 2 spaces. That's always how it is. Anytime like I have a dot grid, I always take up 2 dots when I'm writing. Anyway, moving right along. This is the Lightweight Traveler's Notebook paper. Ooh, nice sheen. A little bit of shimmer, a little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, but a little bit of ghosting. Alright, this is lightweight, super lightweight Traveler's Notebook paper. I did have a little trouble grabbing the page. A little bit of shimmer, a little bit of sheen, a little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, but a little bit of ghosting. Oh dear. This is Moleskine 70 GSM paper. 70 GSM. I tell you, if I ever had to use Moleskine for practical application, I would just not. I would stop writing. It's feathering like a chicken, and it bled right through the page. Anything but that. Alright, this is Field Notes Journal. I don't know the weight on this. They don't say it on their website, but I don't even see any sheen. I do see the shimmer, barely any shading, and it is bleeding through the page. Fabriano Eco Qua 85 GSM. A little bit of sheen, a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, and no ghosting. This is Ayush 100 GSM paper. little bit of sheen, a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is 52 GSM Tomaway River. Nice shimmer, nice sheen, a little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, and barely any ghosting. This is the journal from the Dollar Tree. A little bit of sheen, a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of shading. I don't know what's going on there, but there's no bleeding, no ghosting. Good paper. This is Manda B 80 GSM dot grid. I made a little heart on accident. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Oh, a little bit of ghosting. Right there, just a little bit. Nice shimmer, nice shading. Alright, this is Oxford optic paper. Nice sheen, nice shimmer, nice shading. No feathering, but it did bleed through just a little bit right there. But other than that, I don't really see any ghosting. Alright, this is Clairefontaine 90 GSM. I don't know what that is. It might be a little tiny feather. It might be just an off swoop from the letter. Who knows? But I do see a little bit of sheen, a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, but a little bit of ghosting. Lamy booklet, 90 GSM. A little bit of shimmer, a little bit of sheen, a little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Exceed 100 GSM heavyweight paper from Walmart.com. Nice shimmer, nice sheen, no feathering. No bleeding, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Oh my god. Sorry, excuse me. Been up since like 6 o'clock this morning. Alright, this is Up and Up Wide Rule Composition Book from Target.com. Oh, it's going to be a long day. A little bit of shimmer, a little bit of sheen, a little bit of shading. No real feathering, no real bleed through, but a little bit of ghosting. True Red Composition Book from Staples.com. Oh, it is feathering just a little bit into the page. It is spreading. I wouldn't say feathering. But it is for Yuyake, definitely feathered. I see shimmer. I don't really see any sheen. Let's see if we can see it from this side. No, no sheen. Oh, little bits of bleed through and a little bit of ghosting. Alright, this is the Nanami Seven Seas. 68 GSM Tomaway River. Oh, that sheen. That is really nice sheen. A little bit of shimmer, a little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is Rhodia Dot Pad, 80 GSM, a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of sheen, a little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. U-Style Notebook Paper. A little bit of shimmer, a little bit of sheen, a little bit of shading. No real feathering. Barely any bleeding. And a little bit of ghosting. CVS Caliber notebook paper. that sheen comes right through. And the shimmer and the shading. No feathering, no bleeding, and no ghosting. Barely any ghosting. Oxford notebook paper. Nice shimmer, nice sheen, nice shading. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Sorry, excuse me. My carburetor's out. This is Mead Wide Rule Composition Book. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's not feathering. You sure this is Mead? That's unbelievable. It's the first time I've seen an ink that doesn't feather on Mead. But it did bleed through the page. And heavy ghosting. Too bad. 5-star notebook paper. See, we're having a little bit of feathering on that K. A little bit all over, really. A little bit of shimmer. I don't really see any sheen. Feathering, a little bit of bleeding right there, but other than that, minimal amount of ghosting. HP Premium 32-pound copy paper. Little bits of feathering here and there. Lots of shimmer. Don't really see any sheen. Oh, excuse me. No feathering. Little amount of feathering. But no bleeding and only a minimal amount of ghosting. 2 papers left. This is the J&B Copper Plate Graph Pad from JohnNeilBooks.com. No feathering. There is a little bit of shimmer. I don't really see any sheen. No feathering. No real bleed. Little bit of bleed through right there. But other than that, there's minimal amount of bleed through and barely any ghosting. Original Crown Mill 100 GSM paper. A little bit of shimmer, a little bit of sheen, a little bit of shading, no feathering. A little bit of bleed through right there, but other than that, there's minimal amount of bleed through and a minimal amount of ghosting. Okay. Let's do a comparison panel. I don't know where to put this ink. It's like a green, but it's like a black, but it's like a green. I don't know. Weird ink. Let's see. Put down the lights just a little bit. We're going to try in the green section and we're going to see if anything comes of it. Queen and Castle, Birmingham Emerald Fusion, Q Inks Nebula Space Kitty. This one's kind of close, but this one's lighter than this one. Seeds Crab's Neck Palm Green, Trisby Emerald Green, Van Diemen's Underwater Sea Dragon, Calligraphy Passion, Meadow Green, Sherwood Green, Apple Teeny, Supernatural, Vento Prato, Key Lime Pie, Kakapo Parrot, Ironite, Freedom of the Starry Skies Green, Mermaid Tail, Holly Twinkle, Noodler's Forest Green. This is kind of going that way. Delamere Green, 50 States Vermont, California Teal, kind of dark. Scribo Verde Bosco. I'm going to move up this just a little bit. There, that's better. Diamond Emerald. Tasha Olive Green. Noodler's green, lemongrass, golden ivy, elf, alpha PSC, magical forest, mixable green, grun green cactus, spirulina green, Bezuden woodgrown, private reserve Sherwood green, Robert Oster emerald, private reserve spearmint, Warringal withering heights, Pannonia zuzmolichen, Diatramentus document green, Diamine umber green, Venta mermaid green, Birmingham cooked spinach, Sailor Rikyucha, Andorilium kingfisher green, Diamine salamander, Dominant industry autumn forest, Graf von Faber-Castell olive green, Birmingham basil pesto, Diamine olive swirl, Colorverse walk the dog, Troublemaker Tusla bua, Noodler's pushkin, brilliant green, Arabella, bright green, spirit, Edelstein jade, Diamine seasons greetings. This one's dark green, but this one leans more teal. Birmingham heavy crude. This one's more of a murky green. Diamine alpine, another murky green. Robert Oster velvet storm. Henry David Thoreau leans more teal and is darker. Monteverde crocodile, a very dark medium green. Diamine black ivy. Diamine best wishes. Bakersfield food color green. Private reserve ebony green. This is kind of on the same path. This one just seems to be just a little bit darker. Diamine green black. Another one that's very close. Diamine evergreen. Another one that's kind of close. Monarcha nopal. Colorverse able. This one's kind of close too. Monteverde jade noir. This one's another close one. Blackstone Daintree green. Maybe a cousin. Diamine hells. Tasha Saibe Midori. Laban Hera. Pannonia Godinizold. This one's kind of close too. Monteverde Yosemite green. Ferris wheel press peppermint drop. This one's kind of close too, even though they're in the same family. Diamine spruce. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Gerabon Ancre Larry Sauvage. Antiquers Ink Freddy's favorite. Let me see if I can look in the black department, because sometimes Kiwi Ink's Nebula Space Kitty. That one's kind of close. Bakersfield Food Color Black. Even though it's black, it kind of looks like a murky dark green in the swatch. No. Troublemaker Polar Light has kind of a greenish shimmer. Shooting at the Moon. Takasumi, Schwartz Rose, Matthew, Black, Starry Night, Common Loon Black, Velvet Black, Pelican Edelstein Onyx, Twisby Black, Krishna Black, Monteverde Onyx, Pilot Black, Lamy Black, Archive Black, Document Black, Borealis Black, Polar Black, Duin Waterblau, Solar Storm, Ebony Purple, Deck the Halls, Winter Miracle. These are purples now. We're getting way off into the woods. Verasaki, Seize the Night, 270, Black Violet, 346, Jinhao Black, Parker Quink Black, and Noodler's X Feather. So, I'd buy that Space Kitty just for the name. Yeah, it's a super cute ink. Nebula Space Kitty. It's got some real pretty blue shimmer in it. You know, these ones are kind of... This one has some like rose gold, silver shimmer. And this one has blue shimmer. But they kind of look similar in the undercolor. Interesting. Well, what did you guys think of today's ink? Have you guys used this ink? What do you think about this ink? Let me know in the comment section below. That's all I got for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I hope that you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the little bell. Make sure it's set to all so when I upload new content, YouTube notifies you. And I will be back very soon with another video. So, take care until then. Okay, love you, bye. Have a great day.